or no, 6 of them that we circled or you put a question mark next to. Which you had this problem on your paper one, you can't read that. So it's number 12. Okay, so we have 50 x to the 4th y minus 5 x to the 3rd y to the 2nd minus 10 x to the 2nd y to the 3rd. Okay, so not any different than yesterday, it's just the factoring part. Okay, so the greatest common factor thing is still the same. So what would the largest number be that we can take out? 5. Okay, what's the max amount of x's? 2. Okay. Max amount of what? 1. Okay, so we're going to write what's left because we're going to wind up being able to factor this, but we can't do the read backwards thing like we were doing yesterday. So that's why I separated it from yesterday's thing. Okay, so my first thing is going to be 10. How many x's? 2. Are there any y's left? No. Okay, so the next one, 5 by 5 is 1. You can write a 1 here, but we don't have to because we still have variables. Okay, if you don't have variables, then you would have to write the 1 there. Okay, so x to the 3rd, x to the 2nd, so we still have an x left, and y. Okay, so minus what? 2 y to the 2nd. Okay, so before, what we did yesterday is, besides splitting up the x's and y's, we would have read this backwards. What are my factors of 2 that subtract to give me a -1? Okay? But this time we have a number in the front, so we can't do that because 10 is going to have to be part of those parentheses. Okay, so we just throw all of that out of the door. Now this is just a trial and error thing to make it work. Okay, so we're still going to follow the rules with what are our signs. Okay, so you go ahead and draw 2 parentheses. Okay, when it ends in negative, it means the signs are going to be same or different. When it ends in a negative, different. So one's a positive, one's a negative. Okay, now this time I want you to stop until we finish. Okay, I don't want you to write anything. Okay, so in this first position is going to be the factors of 10. I don't know which ones are the right ones until I put them in there and check them. And if they're not, then I switch them around. Okay. Okay, so my factors of 10 are 1 and 10 and 2 and 5, right? Most of the time, it's not the 1 and something. It's usually the other one that you're going to start with, okay? If the number is 2, obviously it's going to be the 1 and 2 because there are no other factors. And sometimes when it's 4, 1 and 4, because they're close together, isn't going to give you a really big number. But 10 times some number is going to be a big number, right? And we don't have a big number in the middle. Okay, so that's usually why you start here, okay? So I don't know if the placement's right, so I'm just going to put it, and again, don't write this until I'm done. So we're going to put a 2 here and a 5 here. Okay. I already know I'm splitting up my x's. I'm going to wait to make sure my numbers are in the right spot. Okay, so now for this one, I'm putting in my factors for that number in the second spot. Well, the only factors for 2 are what? 1 and 2. Okay, I just don't know right now if they're in the right spot. So that's why we're waiting to make sure before we put the variables in. So I'm just going to check these. Okay, I already know that 2 times 5 is 10, but what I'm trying to get is this middle thing. So I check the 2 outside ones and the 2 inside ones to see if it gives me a -1. Well, 2 times a -2 is a -4, right? 1 times 5 gives me a +5. What does that give me? Positive 1. So I have the right number, I just have the wrong sign. So I don't need to switch my numbers, I just need to switch my signs, okay? So I'm going to switch this one to a negative, okay, and this one to a positive. Now I can put my variables where they need to be. So with the 10, right, the 2 and the 5, I'm splitting up the x's in the first spot, and then that one had variables, so I'm going to put the y's in my second spot. Okay, so now in order to check this, 2x times a positive 2y is going to be 4xy. And negative 1 times 5 is a negative 5, and there's an x and a y. Okay, so if I combine that, that would give me a negative 1 as well. So this is just, it's a trial and error. Plug them in there. If it didn't work, like say we didn't get 1, then I would switch the 5 and the 2 around. Like put the 5 here, the 2 here, and then 2. Okay. Okay, so bring this down because that's part of your answer. So 5x to the second y, and then your 2 parentheses. So it's 2x minus 1y and 5x plus 2y. You not started?
No, I didn't do it. It was,
Just the last one we did?
yeah, the one that on the stuff is weird.
Okay. So that was your first one. So I'll give you the last one. You can look at it and see if that's the right one. Okay. Because you did one like the first day I was gone, and then you did another one.
There's one where I'm
One was Valentine's Day. So, that one. Yes. Okay. So just make sure you hand in your notes when you. Okay, we got that one? Okay, so I'm going to try 2 more with you. We're just doing the exact same thing on these next 2, okay? So the next one that you're writing is number 16. So number 16 is 45x to the 4th y plus 66 x to the 3rd y to the 2nd minus 13 x to the 2nd y to the 3rd. Okay, what's our biggest number that we could take out of 45, 66, and 15?
3.
Good. Okay, I would have guessed 5 because of these 2 numbers, but you can't take 5 out of that one, right? So the only other factor of 15 is going to be 3. Okay, so good job. Okay, x's.
2.
2, good. Y's.
2 or 1.
Just 1. Okay, so now we're going to write what's left. Okay, so 45 divided by 3 is 15. How many x's do I left?
2.
2. Any y's? No. Okay, sign this down. What's our next one? 22. Then we have an x and a y left. Minus
3
5.
or 5, sorry.
And then no x's left, but we have 2 y's left. Good? Okay, so going to my 2 parentheses. Okay, this tells me that the signs are same or different. Different. Plus, minus. Okay, so we're going to try this. Okay, in the first position, I'm putting my factors of 15. I don't want to start with 1 and 15, so we're going to start with what? 5 and 3? You want to start with 5? Okay. So we'll put a 5 here and a 3 here. Okay, so now this one goes in the second position. So my only factors of 5 are what? My factors 5. What times what gives you 5? 1 and 5, right? So again, I don't know if I'm putting them in the right spot. So I'm going to put the 1 there and the 5 there. Okay, good. Yeah, every time the door opens, the anticipation that you come into class is like overwhelming. He's here. Okay, so I already know that 5 times 3 gave me 15. So I'm just checking the 2 outside ones and the inside ones to see if it gives me the middle one is what I'm worried about, okay? So 5 times a negative 5 gives me a negative 25. And then 1 times 3 gives me a positive 3, okay? That gave me a negative 22, and I needed a positive 22. Okay, so I'm just going to switch this to a positive, this one to a negative, because we have the right numbers. The numbers are in the right spot. It's just the signs needed to be switched. Okay, so now I can put my variables in there. So it's an x and a y again, an x and a y again, and then just bring this down because that was part of your answer. Okay, so we should have 5x minus y, or 1y, 1 there, and then 3x plus 5. Any grasping this? Okay. Sometimes the numbers aren't as easy as 15 because it's 1 and 15 and 3 and 5, so you pick 3 and 5. Sometimes it might be 12. 12 has 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Okay, there's more. I would always start with the one that's closest to each other, so I would start with the 3 and 4. Okay, one more, and then you're going to try 3 on your own, and then we'll grade the whole packet. Okay, so please make sure you're asking if you're getting hung up on what I did. Okay, so 23. So we have 12 x squared plus 10x minus 1. Okay, what's my largest number?
2.
2. Can I take out any variables?
No.
And no, because they don't all have variables. Okay, so I'm going to write this left. So I have 6x to the second plus 5x minus 6. Okay, what are my signs going to be in the two parentheses? Positive and negative. Okay, I know the 2 is going to be down. Okay, factors of 6 are 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. Don't start with the 1 and something, so we're going to start with 2 and 3. Or you put 3 and 2. Okay, and then again, factors of 6 are 1 and 6 and 2 and 3. So I'm going to do the same thing I just did with 2 and 3. Okay, so remember when we're checking this to get 5, we're checking the 2 outside ones and the 2 inside ones. Okay, so 2 times a negative 3 gives me a negative 6. This one gives me a positive 6. That didn't work, right? Because that gives me 0. Okay, so you're going to switch one, not both of them, because then you'll just get the same answer. You're going to switch one of your 2 or 3. So I'm going to switch the first one, okay? I'm going to make this a 3. Just change it to another. And I'm going to make this one a 2. And just switch just one. Okay, now we're checking it. So 3 times a negative 3 is a negative 9. 2 times 2 is 4. That gives me a negative 5. I need a positive 5, so I'm not switching the numbers, I'm only switching the what? Signs. Okay, so this becomes a negative, this one would become a positive. So now I can fill in my variable, which is just x sign. Okay? Because that would give me a positive 9x and a negative 4, which would give me a positive 1. Okay, so there's your answer. So 2 parentheses 3x minus 2 and 2x plus 3. Okay, so the 3 that you're trying, and then we're going to switch papers and grade, is 32, 33, and 35. So those are the only ones left. So 32, 33, 35. I want this picture together. Because we're going to grade it. I want to see now if you know how to do it, so you have 3 of them to try on your own. Okay, and then we'll grade the rest of the problems. Listen.